Hi, you may have heard of the 4% rule when it comes to retirement income, and you might be wondering just what that is. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. I'm Camille Gaines, founder of FinancialWoman.com, author of Earn, Grow, Give, and a financial coach. And you may be wondering how much money you need to put aside for retirement, how much money you'll need so you can maintain your standard of living. And you may have heard of the 4% rule when it comes to retirement and retirement income. That's not really income. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the 4% rule is sort of a standard in the world of financial planning now regarding retirement. So what I want to share with you in this video is about what the 4% rule is, and what the big aha that we had, my husband and I, when we looked at our retirement account. So you might lose track though. I want to first just give you this little reminder. It's easy to lose track of what the whole deal is around the retirement account, your financial future investing, because it's easy to get lost in all the lingo around 401ks and savings and budgets and taxes and stocks and bonds and all that. So I just want to remind you, for us at least, the goal of having a nice big retirement account is financial freedom. It's ultimately being able to live off that money, and not only live off the money, but maintain your current standard of living that you like so much, right? Live in a way that you can enjoy life and enjoy the rest of your days. So with having said that, I'll tell you what happened with us. Now, financial freedom, or that having that lifestyle you want from your money, for us was being able to live where we wanted, have a nice standard of living, and be able to live off our investments. Now, we enjoy working, so we'll probably work for quite a bit longer. We really don't mind. We actually enjoy that aspect of our lives. But at some point, we'll want to stop, but we still want to be able to maintain that standard of living. So I had this big aha that made me question the whole 4% rule. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about how that came about, and you might relate to this story. So I was in my little office. I'm in there right now, and it's positioned in a way that late afternoon sun really streams in beautifully. So I love to be up here late afternoon. And the sun was coming in, and it happened to be an early winter day when I had scheduled a time to work on and update our net worth. So I actually have to put time in my planner to schedule time to get those tasks done for updating our finances, looking at our cash flow, our net worth, so they actually happen. Anyway, that's another video. So on this day, I was doing that, late afternoon sun. It was like it spoke to me, because it's sort of like when you're at the end of the day and that sun is saying, what did you get done today, and have you missed any opportunities? And of course I always have. I haven't done those things that I thought I was going to do when the day started out, right? You may have been like that. So on this particular day, though, it was the whole year I was thinking about, because I was totaling up our net worth. So do you ever do that? You sit down, you list all your assets, you list all your liabilities, and you hit that sum button if you do it in Excel, or you might use an online platform. I still figure out my own, do my own things in a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, because that's just how I like to do it. I like to be able to tweak it just the way I want. So, but there are a lot of great platforms as well. So anyway, however you do it, right before you hit that sum button or you see that total, it's sort of almost nerve-wracking. And so on this particular day, I looked at the total. Now, go back about a decade, and a little bit over a decade actually, and we had just come out of a year or two earlier, the early 2000 tech bubble, huge blow up in the stock market. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with the 2008 blow up, maybe as well. And you know how crazy that first decade in the 2000s was for our retirement accounts, right? And so for it can be detrimental if you're a boomer, or if you're looking to retire early in a fairly soon time period, right? So this had just happened a couple years prior. We'd just gotten back to where we were before that devastating drop that took the NASDAQ down 76%, if you can believe it. Like the 2008 seemed horrible, and everybody was in the NASDAQ because technology was all the rage. And so 76% drop on the NASDAQ. The S&P 500 went down 43%. I want to jot at my notes here so I'll make sure I tell you correctly. So it had been a really bad, nasty drop. And my big aha, I was like, this doesn't look so great. So I played with some numbers, and my big aha was that traditional investing, and I'll talk about that more in a second, the traditional really financial retirement planning just didn't look like it was going to work. Now, traditional retirement planning is more about you save as much as you can while you're working, and then you live off that income when you retire. And the rule, the 4% rule that I want to explain here, says that you withdraw 4% every year from your retirement account to live on, okay? So that's almost like I call it like a little income stream if you do that. But it's not really income. It's really a depletion of your retirement account. And so how did that, so it's a really great foundation that's used even today to guide people for their retirement planning. But does it work? Well, and how did it come about, and where did that come from? So it came about in 1994, a guy named, I want to make sure I get his name right. His name was, or is, William Bengen. And he did a really huge study looking back over the stock market, I guess stock and bond market, to figure out if there had ever been, if this 4% rule of withdrawing, had it depleted retirement accounts, and he especially took in mind the big market corrections in the 1930s and the early 1970s. And he found that over a 33-year period, so you could withdraw that 4% for 33 years, it had never depleted your account if you withdrew for 33 years, okay? So, or up to 33 years. So it seemed like a logical rule, and it's still used today to guide people for their retirement planning. It's almost like you look at it as a retirement income because you're going to draw that money out. So the thing is, you get to that point though because you've saved as much as you can. aka live frugally, right? Which is really not that much fun. And you also certainly have to watch your spending in retirement. And so for us, traditional planning is about doing that. And then, the thought of around this is that you're going to earn about 8% on average on your investment accounts, and that would more than offset, hopefully, the 4% withdrawal too. That's kind of the way I look at it. That's kind of my take on it. So anyway, we've all seen what's happened in the markets over the last 15, 16 years, and it's been rather crazy. So, but this 4% rule still, it makes a lot of sense, and it's backed by some really good studies and data. So, but again, it is based on living frugally and really watching your spending once you retire and really your whole life. So anyway, so my big aha was, wow, this 4% thing doesn't really seem to me like it's going to work for us. And do we want to do this? Do we want to work longer than we had planned on so it will work? Or do we want to figure out a better alternative? And so that's what we ended up doing. So I want to share with you, I don't want to talk too much in this video. I like to keep them fairly short because I want you to stay with me. But in this video series, I'll share with you what we ended up doing to fix that problem. But I also want to leave you with this. Look at your retirement account and multiply it by 4%. And that'll be kind of the starting point because the hope or the intention is that it will compound and grow over time. But start with a number where you are now, or if you haven't even started your retirement account yet, or you're nowhere near it, then maybe it's 10, 20 years away, 25 years away. Then look at, how much you spend now or how much you think you'll want to spend, and then use that 4% rule as a guide. So if you took that amount, say if it's $1 million and you took out 4%, then what would that be every year? And could you live on that? And what is that like compared to where you're living right now? I know $1 million sounds like a huge, whoa, crazy number, and it used to be. That's a whole other video topic that I'll do at another time. But that's what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to get your mindset open around, just retirement income thinking, because that's sort of the ultimate goal with all this talk about wealth creation, about investing. The ultimate goal is to be able to live off of your money, right? And so I wanted to get you thinking around that and understand the 4% rule, because you're going to hear that a lot if you look at traditional investing models, you work with an advisor. So that's what I wanted to share. If you like this video, you want to help me support financial empowerment and education, please like it. Let me know you like it. Boy, if you share it, that would really be awesome. And thank you so much. Remember, like, share, and let me know if you have any questions in the space below this video. Thanks so much.